Hello everyone and welcome to LoL Weekly. I am your host, Solid, aka Josh, and this is the show where we talk all about the LoL esports scene. This week, there was quite a decent amount of games. Nothing really amazing happened, but there were definitely some shining stars in both EU, NA, LCS, and OGN over in Korea. So, I'm going to start with EU. Now, last week we had Fnatic take down Alternate being the number one team, Fnatic being a rising team who have always done extremely well. I mean, they won Season 1 and they won last split. So they've done very well for themselves and they're reclaiming one of the top positions. Gambit beat an ever worsening Meet Your Makers to take a very high position. Ninjas in Pyjamas go on an unbeaten streak this week, taking down Gambit, who have been doing extremely well recently. And Lemon Dogs take down the slightly failing Alternate this week after losing to Fnatic. These two losses put Alternate 9-6, joint first with Gambit, also 9-6. Then we have Ninjas in Pyjamas, Fnatic, and Lemon Dogs, all joint third place at 8-7. Then EG, SK, and Meet Your Makers at 6-9. Meet Your Makers being a top 2 team in the first few weeks, but suffering extremely hard as the weeks go on. Will they be able to reclaim one of those top spots by the end? I don't know, honestly, because they're about halfway through. They're going to have to pull a lot of weight, considering they're in that last place position. They're going to have to pull a miracle out of the bag, really, to do anything. But this week coming up, we've got Gambit versus Lemon Dogs, joint first place team versus a joint third place team. Alternate versus Ninjas in Pyjamas. Ninjas in Pyjamas proving they have a lot of skill as a team, but Alternate have always held on to that number one spot, going undefeated in the first week and still doing extremely well recently. But they have been faltering, so will Ninjas in Pyjamas be able to beat them and possibly to secure themselves a top 2 spot. Then we also have Ninjas in Pyjamas versus Lemon Dogs. These two teams are currently drawing third place, so this is going to be a very close match in my opinion. And then we've got Fnatic versus Gambit. Gambit have really blown people away. They didn't really start off the split very well, but they've definitely improved a lot with their new support. And now Fnatic with their new lineup, their AD carry moving to support and having a new AD carry while they're waiting for their other new AD carry to be old enough to play. We've got that interesting matchup. Now, going over to NA, we had Cloud9 go on an absolute killing streak this week, taking down CLG and Vulcan. Only barely beating Vulcan though in a very close game, which started off with Vulcan thrashing Cloud9, but then Cloud9 coming back and closing out the game against a far, far superior Vulcan in my opinion. Then Curse actually took a win off CLG. CLG really haven't done this week. They lost to Cloud9 and Curse. Curse, who haven't been doing very well, took a win off CLG, which is slightly disappointing. But then CLG did take a win off of TSM, and TSM haven't been doing that bad recently. They have been on some bad losing streaks, but they're still doing decently well. Cloud's 9 undefeated streak definitely shows in their number 1 placing at 13-2. Vulcan slightly suffering against Cloud9, going at 10-5. CLG still doing quite well, but you can see that their 2 losses this week really have affected them, and now they're 8-7, barely breaking even. Then we have Dignitas and TSM and Team Coast joint 4th place with a 7-8. Curse with a 6-9 in 7th, and Velocity still in that last place at 2-13. Next week, the first game actually this week is going to be a smasher in my opinion. Cloud9 versus TSM. If TSM can take down Cloud9, then it will really show they are improving. But Cloud9, as I say, have been on an absolutely killing streak, and we'll have to see how they can do. Coast versus TSM are both joint. They're both joint 4th place, so we'll have to see which ones of them can actually take this win. It's going to be a very close game. Dignitas versus CLG. Dignitas have been doing extremely well, but CLG are still at the top. Not at the top obviously, because, you know, that's Cloud9. Yeah, everyone hop on the Cloud9 hype train, why don't you? But we've got CLG doing extremely well. Not as well recently, so we'll see how they fare against Dignitas. And then we've got Vulcan, who lost a game where they were far ahead to Cloud9, just by not being able to close it out against Dignitas. Dignitas could take that win, in my opinion. We'll have to see how Vulcan react to what's happened recently. Over in OGN Summer 2013, we've got Group A, MVP Ozone going 2-0-0, securing themselves a place in the playoffs. Group B, we have CTU going 1-1-0 and CJ Blaze going 1-0-0, only have played on 1 games. Those two are at the top right now. Neither of them secured them a playoffs place yet. SK Team 1 have gone 2-0-0 and have secured themselves the top spot in Group C and a spot in the playoffs. In Group D, we have CJ Frost and KT Rolstabullet going 1-0-0. Neither of them securing places in the playoffs, but both of them looking quite promising to get those places. That is all from LoL Weekly. I have been your host, Solid, aka Josh. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.